What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? This is going to be your review for the season finale of the Real Housewives of Dallas, season 4. So, look, I've done this whole video earlier, and something happened to the video. It's gone, so I have to redo it. So, I apologize for this being late. Let's just go ahead and get some of this stuff out the way. So, we're back from Thailand, okay? We start the episode off where we see two separate conversations. We have Leanne and Stephanie, and then we have not Deandra, Carrie and Cameron. Deandra had a conversation prior with Cameron, Carrie, Stephanie. Lord have mercy. So what I want to say is this: I want to thank you, Stephanie, for really trying to have a conversation with Leanne, explaining to Leanne as nice as you could that what she said and the way she said it was not appropriate. Okay. And here's the thing: when Stephanie was having this conversation with Leanne, what she didn't realize was that Leanne had made comments about this Mexican and the Mexican and the Mexican. She had made comments to other people. And those people hadn't really compared notes because none of them wanted to speak it. None of them wanted to say, "Wow, I think Leanne made some racial comments." Um, so Stephanie was trying to nicely let Leanne know, look, you get mad, you get angry, but you gotta watch your language. It's not appropriate and it's going to get you in trouble. And she even said, I really don't want to see you get yourself in a situation, you know? And she was talking around it, but again, in that moment, she thought that Leanne just had a lapse of judgment that one time and said something to her. She didn't realize that Leanne had been spewing about Mexicans the whole daggone trip to anybody who would listen. So on the other side of town, we had a conversation with Carrie and Cameron. We see that they're building their friendship. They're becoming better friends, and they're sort of talking about what happened. And Cameron was saying, Carrie gets on my nerves sometimes too, y'all. But the one thing that I always, always, always like about Carrie and respect about Carrie is going to give it to you straight with no chaser. Carrie is going to stand in her stuff. And at the end of the day, you don't have to guess where you stand with this woman. And what Carrie said to Cameron was, look, I'm enjoying getting to know you. I'm enjoying hanging out with you. But you know what? I kind of felt kind of funny when we were in Thailand and we were defending you and you sort of defended Leanne. And I told y'all in that moment, Cameron was like, look, I got to ride home with this chick. Y'all not going to sit here and put me in a situation where I'm on a plane with somebody for 30 hours and they mad at me. No, ma'am. So Carrie said, I did, but I honestly did. At the end of the day, Cameron doesn't want the smoke. She liked Leanne, and she didn't really want that whole awkward situation with Leanne. She didn't like what Leanne did. She didn't like the yelling, but I really think she thought, look, we'll get home, we'll move on, and it'll be what it is. It'll just be a little blurb in our friendship. Remember, Cameron had been riding hard for Leanne. And I believe that part of what Cameron didn't want to accept as well is some of these people were right all along. And I didn't listen and I defended Leanne. But it is what it is. So, again, Cameron is sort of sitting on this for lack of a better word, the secret, I guess, that Leanne made these comments about, she called her a chirpy Mexican and Cameron kept saying the C word. She's so cute. She wouldn't say the word. She called her the C word. And so anyway, it was really cute. So then we have let me just go on and get Deandra and Mama D out the way because it's just not that important. Deandra's talking to Mama D. Look, let me tell y'all something. I like Mama D too, but Mama D could not be my mama. We wouldn't even be speaking no more. Mama D is she's so extra. She's so damn extra. At the end of the day, Mama D was like, look, because here's the thing. Mama D, you set that child up to fail. You bled that company dry. And when your accountants and whoever else told you there's nothing else we can do, that this company is about to fail, then you turned it over to Deandra and you rode off into your Bentley off into the sunset and you left Deandra to clean it up. And when Deandra said, "Look, Ma, you left me with a pile of stuff to handle. I need your help. You were like, mm-mm, mm-mm. You've been begging for this company. You figure it out. No, good and daggone well, you left that company in ruins. But Deandra didn't flip the script on you. Deandra did what I said she should have done. Not saying she was listening to me. I'm just saying we great minds think alike. She has partnered with HSN, and because if the majority of this company's money was coming from infomercials that they were doing on Christian Network, then that's who their audience is. Why not hook up with HSN? So the company is in a better situation, far from out of the woods, but they're definitely in a better situation. They've hooked up with HSN, and Mama D even eventually gave them a loan. But that was at the end. I'm getting ahead of myself. But in that moment, Mama D was like, "Yeah, I can't give you no money. Like, you don't know what to do with money. You're gonna throw the money away. You're gonna mess the money up. And what I'm not getting ready to do, I know that company is failing. So what I'm not getting ready to do is give you money to save a company that ain't gonna work." Um, so Deandra was like, "Mom, the money is there. There's plenty of money in the trust." And she said, "Look, you know, care is expensive. You know, when I get older, I need to make sure that I'm going to be taken care of." Deandra was like, "Ma, for real? Like, you're not going to be living in a state institution. There's more than enough money to make sure you can live in the life in which you've become accustomed until your last breath." And then after they do all of that, and she talking about how she can't give her any money, da da da, she said, "Hopefully we can get back to start traveling again." Deandra was like, "What, with the money we don't have?" Child, Mama D is a mess. But that's what she did. And Deandra told her, she said, "I was very angry with you." Mama D was like, mm-hmm. She said, "Well, I feel like you wanted to see me fail." Mama D was like, "Child, that's what you did." Anyway, but it seems like the company is in a better situation. So y'all do what y'all do. Now, down to the cheerleading camp. It looks like um Brandy and what's her baby? Is her name Brooklyn? Her name's not Brooklyn. That's the other baby's name. Anyway, they've seemed to bond over cheerleading. We know that Brandy was a professional cheerleader. She cheered for the Dallas Cowboys. She cheered her whole life. Her daughter is getting into cheering. We know that they have been going through some growing pains. I really think it's a combination of her daughter is spoiled. I believe she's jealous of Bruin and the attention that Bruin has been getting. And she's becoming a teenager. She's just getting into her natural preteen situation. I think some of the stuff could be nipped in the bud if Brandy wouldn't be so afraid. See, Brandy is one of those parents that's afraid for her kids to be mad at her or her kids not to like her. Brandy, you're gonna have to let that go. No matter what you do, your kids are at some point not going to like you. But that means you're doing a good job. I don't mean hate, and I don't mean long term hate, but if your kids like you all the time, then you're not parenting them, because being a good parent means saying no. Being a good parent means putting your foot down, setting boundaries, and not allowing them to do what they want to do. At the end of the day, kids want to do what they want to do, but they also like discipline. It's a weird thing with kids, but trust me, Brandy, trust me. But she's trying out for the cheerleading squad, and it's one of those cheerleading I don't know what you call them, because it's not one team, it's a conglomerate of teams. And basically, she will automatically be put on a team, but the team that she's on will be based on her skill set. And the team that she wants to be on is the team that competes. And they've won the last 6 championships that Brandy was saying. So this is not just a competition team, but they are very successful. And so we see her trying out for the team. I know she's cheering because I've seen her on her social media, but I don't know if she made it on that particular squad. I think they said she did, but don't quote me on that one. But I hope that they're able to use cheering as a way to build their mother-daughter relationship, because I don't want to say friendship, because again, like I said, Brandy, stop trying to be her friend. But your mother-daughter relationship. Now we have Carrie and her husband. We know Carrie's big thing has been building her independence. She said, I rely on you for everything. When we've hit bumps in the road, you've basically made it clear that I have nothing if I leave you. And she said, I just need something from you. She asked about the house. She said, look, we're getting ready to buy a new house. Would you consider putting the house in both of our names? And he started talking about the trust, honey, and what they can and can't do because it's a trust. Now, here's the thing. He comes from a very wealthy family and he has a trust fund. I believe that, rich people do things a little different. They don't put things in their name like that. They do buy stuff and put it in the name of the trust and all of that. But what he said was, I'm willing to um buy investment property and put your name on it. And I feel like, what he's saying is, we're gonna buy some investment property and put your name on it. So the next time you decide to get froggy and jump, I'm gonna be like, you can take that house right there. That's how I took it. I could be wrong, but that's how I took it. He also was saying, well, I think I've been very generous. When I married you, I inherited 4 kids. But this is how I feel about the situation. You knew that going in. You knew walking in the door, like she didn't hide the kids from you. You knew walking in the door what you were inheriting. So don't make it seem like you did her a favor because, and maybe you did, but what I'm saying is don't throw it in her face now and make it seem like you did her a favor. Oh, well, I took care of you and your kids. She said, yeah, but whenever something comes up that you don't want to do, you make it very clear whose money it is. And so she's definitely moving forward with the jewelry line, trying to build her own independent wealth. And I don't have no problem with that. I think that is a great thing um, for her to do. I think that is a wonderful situation for her. What we found out at the end of the episode is that she's been, gaining a little bit of attraction with the jewelry sale. So definitely want to see, her do well with the jewelry. Now we have Cameron and Corey. Let me tell y'all something. Let me tell you, all season long, they've been showing me little things here and there. Because I wasn't crazy about Cord. Because I felt like Cord was a little. I feel like Cord was a little condescending towards Cameron when she was trying to do the dog food. Now, let me be clear. I wasn't crazy about the whole pink dog food get up either. But I also know that gimmicks sell. And I just felt like, but forget all that. That's old. I love Cord. I started liking Cord earlier on this season when we saw how much he actually does for her and how sweet he really is to her. He done sent her flowers while she was in Thailand. He done cooked breakfast while they were getting ready for the wedding. Like all kinds of cute stuff. I was like, I like Cord. I love Cord after this episode because let me tell you what Cord did. Cameron went to Cord and was telling Cord all about how things went down in Thailand and what some of the things that Leanne was saying. And as soon, Cameron was beating around the bush, honey. She didn't want to get there. But when she finally got there and told him about the whole Mexican comments, Cora was like, what? Of course said, oh, we can't deal with anything. No, that's racist. And we're not gonna be connected to anything dealing with racism. He said, you need to tell Carrie, what was said, and you need to distance yourself from Leanne. I said, okay, Cord, I'm with you. And Cord did a couple of other things this episode that I was like, there you go, and I'm with it, Cord. Because one thing, regardless of how he might personally feel, the one thing Cord was very conscious of were the cameras. He was very conscious of understanding how this could play out long term once this season came out. Because he knew what was up. He know how Bravo roll. He know Bravo Andy shady as hell, and he gonna show all of this stuff and present the storyline. And he didn't want Cameron caught up in that storyline. Like Leanne always talking to them about, oh well, Dallas society, Dallas society, Dallas society. Well, now everybody thinks you're a racist. So how you feel about that with Dallas society? We're gonna get to the racism because I know that's what y'all waiting for. We're gonna get there. I just gotta get all this other stuff out the way. So Braun is having a forever family party. I guess it's to celebrate the day he was adopted rather than his birthday. Really cute concept. Everybody was in blue and white. It made for a beautiful aesthetic. Brandy looked beautiful. The girls were really cute. All those gingers are so cute to me. All them red hairs running around are so cute. But and that daggone Bruin is a cutie. Oh, he's a cutie, and he was just running around and having himself a good old time. But they were having the celebration, so this was like the final little party or whatever. So Leanne, gets there. Now Leanne hadn't really talked to nobody since Thailand, honey. But you know how Leanne does. She rolls up in there like she just been hanging out with them last week. So it's like, hey girl, hey, how y'all doing? Hey, ooh, hey. Deandra rolls up in there. Deandra walked right past Leanne and gives her the hey. I said, oh, icebergs maybe? Ooh. Um, Stephanie showed up looking really her hair was really cute. Um, so here's how it goes down. Cameron and Cord picked up Carrie and her husband and they rode to the party together. When they got in the car, Cameron proceeded to tell Carrie about what Leanne was saying. But she did the same thing she did with Cord, honey. She was talking all around the bush because she didn't really want to go there. So she told the story, act like she was done. And Cord was like, tell her all of it. Tell her all of it. So then that's when she told her about the Mexican comment. And so, of course, automatically Carrie was like, oh, well, that's racial. Like that's real racist what she just said. And they get to the party. And Carrie immediately goes over to the rest of the ladies and starts telling them what was said, what Leanne said about her. Cameron goes over to Leanne to let Leanne know, look, I had to tell, it didn't feel good on my soul and on my conscience. And I had to tell Carrie what you said about her. So at first Leanne was doing that. I don't recall saying that. I don't know. I didn't say that. No, I don't recall. I don't recall that. No. No, no, no. I didn't say that. So then Carrie comes over because what happened was while Carrie was talking to Stephanie and them, that's when Stephanie realized, oh, wait a minute. She wasn't just saying stuff like that to me. She was saying stuff like that the whole time we were in Thailand. Oh, and rewind. I'm sorry, I missed something. My bad. I missed a whole piece of this. When back at the beginning of the episode, when Leanne was talking to Cameron, she was trying to twist that whole situation and make it seem like Carrie wasn't upset about her yelling at her. Carrie was upset. I mean, Cameron was upset because she finally realized how bad it was that they were hanging out at the red light district and she felt bad. And then she tried to say, well, if she said something different, then that would make her two-faced because that's not why she was upset with me. And I would hate to think that Cameron was two-faced. And I was like, okay, here we go. Because I know how Leanne get when because this all this boiled down to was Leanne was jealous that Carrie and Cameron were getting close. Whatever. We'll get to that. So fast forward, we back at the party. My bad, I forgot to get that part out. So once they realized that, wait a minute, Leanne said a few statements that were racially insensitive. So let me say this: they asked the ladies, "Do you think Leanne is a racist?" I agree with Cameron's answer. No, I do not think Leanne is a racist. I do think Leanne made some racially insensitive comments that I don't think she realizes how bad they were. Do I think that Leanne is a racist? No, I do think that Leanne don't listen to what the hell comes out of her mouth. And she didn't seem to understand what it was that she was saying. And maybe some people, y'all gonna tell me up in the comments and say, "Well, that makes her racist. That makes her racist." Then she went. So Cameron goes. I'll get back to that. So Cameron goes to confront her, and Cameron says, "You said this about me. You said that about me." And then Leanne changes her whole attitude, and Leanne cops to it. And Leanne says, "Well, yeah, I said it, and Carrie was like, and what? Like you don't have an apology? You're not sorry for what you said?" So then Deandra was like, in this current climate, Leanne, you can't say stuff like that. She gonna turn to Deandra talking about, well, in this current climate, you shouldn't accuse people's husbands of cheating on them. Apples and oranges, Leanne. Apples and oranges. One has absolutely nothing to do with the other. Because what you accusing somebody's husband at the time boyfriend of cheating on them will not ruin your reputation and will not ruin your career. Like you could potentially be getting fired from the show and other repercussions coming to you if people really truly believe that you are a racist. And that's why Stephanie was trying to talk to you. And that's why the way you handled this was wrong. Because what you should have said was, I was drunk and I was angry and I was wrong. What I said was wrong. But that's not what you said. You dug in. You put 10 toes down and you dug into it. And so Carrie was like, you know what? I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. Now, mind you, Leanne is in her confessional. Before her confessional, she's going to say, you know why I am not a racist? Because I lived with a Mexican family. Leanne, that is the worst thing that you can say. That's as bad as I have Mexican friends, which she did go on to talk about how many men she slept with that were from Mexico. Again, not the point. You know how many slave owners slept with their slaves? You still think they weren't racist towards their slaves? Really? Hmm. So I'm gonna need you to never say that again, Leanne. Ever. Ever. I also think that people feel like, you know what? I'm gonna take back what I said about Leanne not being racist. I'm gonna take that back. I'm gonna put a pin in that. Because I also think that people think we in this country we think so much of black and white. If Leanne had said the same thing with the same level of venom about a black person on the cast, I said this 3, 4 reviews ago. This would have blown up as soon as she said it. Matter of fact, Bravo might not have even aired the shit. But because it was a Latina, I think it was handled differently. Now y'all tell me what y'all think in them comments. Now, Leanne finally, I think, figured out. And this was the other thing that Cord did that I loved, y'all. Cord saw Cameron talking to Leanne, and honey, he got his wife up out of there. He came over there and made up some lie about wanting her to meet somebody. And Cameron was like, oh, okay, okay. And they got away. They still had them mic'd up. She said, oh, where's the designer you wanted me to meet? He said, ain't no designer. I just had to get you away from her. He was like, I told you, you don't want to be connected to Leanne because, like I said, he was very conscious of those cameras and he knew that this thing was about to blow up. And he ain't want his wife no parts of it. No parts of it. Now, I would be curious. I'll be curious. And you know this is gonna come up at the reunion. They're gonna make us wait to the last episode of the reunion. I know, but I'm curious, Leanne, as to why you felt you needed to keep adding the Mexico part to your. I mean, you can insult somebody without adding the Mexico part to it. I'd be curious. Anyway, so then after all of this, then she finally apologizes. And Carrie is like, no, I'm not accepting your apology. She said, apologies are just words. I need actions because I need to know that you're apologizing for the right reasons. Because I feel like had this not been brought up to you, you would never have apologized. Now, what I find very interesting in that moment is Leanne is pissed off. And Leanne is like, I mean, I apologize. I don't know what else she wants from me. Isn't that the same thing Deandra said to you? And isn't that the same thing you said to Deandra? Well, apologies are just words. I need to see your actions. So basically, your words are being thrown back at you. You mad? So Leanne finally decides that she's going to leave, honey, and she walks off because she realizes that this is not going to be oh, I'm sorry, I said that. I think she's starting to realize how deep this is and how bad it is. And so she ends up leaving the party. Um, the ladies continuing to have a great time without her, and then that's pretty much where the episode ends. Now, as Leanne is leaving, she does make a phone call, and again, I really feel like she starts to figure out how bad this is for her. Now, again, I do not think that Leanne is a racist. I do think that Leanne may have some racial insensitivity. And for me, there's a difference. I have a problem just making everything, oh, they're racist. Oh, they're racist. Oh, they're racist. I have a problem with that. Maybe I give people too much of the benefit of the doubt. That's fine. But I don't feel that. I feel like she was mad. I feel like her venom was at Carrie. I do not feel like her venom. I feel like I feel like if Carrie had been Anglo-Saxon American, she would still feel the same way about Carrie. She just would have found a different way of saying it. I don't think it was at the whole, oh, because she's Mexican, I don't like her. I think it was, I don't like her and she's Mexican. Does that make sense? Anyway, y'all, this ran long. I didn't mean for it to run this long, but I did want to get my thoughts out. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Drop it on them comments. Peace.